Joined on commentary by Matt Hain, and we've got a good one for you here. We've got the the finals here of the 2023 Prestige Hotels and Resorts Curling Classic in Vernon, BC, between the Schneider rink playing Brent Pierce here, their rink, and we're already a bit of the ways into the first end here.
Yeah, quite a bit of ways, but that's okay. I don't think we missed much.
No, the first, the first rock, I think, went center guard and then came around and went a little deep, and so now they're just happy to trade hits here, and we'll get through this and pretty quickly, I imagine. So. Thanks to the people that are already watching us on YouTube or Facebook. If you guys, there's been a lot of curling this weekend, but if you hadn't gotten enough, or please tell your friends that Curling Stadium is bringing you one more game this week. This is last game, right?
This is the final. This is the final.
Oh, well, no, I was thinking about any other events that Curling Stadium may be doing right now. They're doing a ton. Like if I go to the Curling Zone website, there's like a ton of events here, but I think everything else is kind of finals here.
So I believe this is the first time we've done commentary together at a curling club we both played at.
Yeah, I know. This is pretty wild. Like I was at this event last weekend for the O Canada Spiel. It's just a fun little recreational spiel that was kind of put together through just people, the curling community.
Yeah, and I played there 150 years ago in a cash bill. It's a long way to go for a cash bill.
Yeah. I had a long trip up there. So I flew from Oklahoma City to Phoenix to Seattle, rent a car, and then Seattle to Vernon.
Well, there you go. We got a guard up here. We got some, we got give her a go. Try to come around this guard here.
Yep.
Don't have hammer, but it's a good chance to just maybe force.
Yeah, I mean he makes it good here, and the team will have to kind of make a play on it. There's a medium amount of separation here. Should be able to dig it out. Seems to be some good swing on this ice already. I mean, having played here last week, there's some good late finish on the ice.
Yeah.
Dave does a wonderful job out here.
It's always interesting in the first end coming around their guard.
Yeah.
Because if you make it, even if you make it perfect and they run the guard back, it's their guard that they're running back.
Yeah. This one seems to be going deep here, and it's just going to barely hang on. So in the rings with maximum separation here, but now I guess what's the decision here, right? Are you Like, do you want to freeze here, and they just freeze back, right? Or
Well, you probably don't want to freeze because then you're going to be forced. You want to try to go, if you can, you want to try to go T line a little bit above the T line. In fact, like T line is actually a little too deep. You almost want to go to where the only is on our only policy. You want to be about that high.
okay, gotcha.
So
Man,
you want to be buried, but you want to be about that high. Like top 8 is perfect. Top 8, it forces them probably to, like, if you go T line and they freeze on you, they're going to be shot.
yeah.
So like top 8 foot is perfect. You're going to be forced.
Yeah.
So you might as well try to get 2. What we call a skip's deuce.
Yep. First of Skip's rocks here. Weight seems to be pretty good. No, maybe just a hair light. They're working it, really.
All it has to be is top 8.
Yeah.
It really just has to be. That's a great shot.
Yep.
A little deeper than the only. Like ideally, it's just a hair higher. It now brings in, now Schneider has to decide whether or not to run back the yellows.
Yeah.
And pick it out, which brings in blank because you're probably not going to stay right there.
Yeah, they're
or corner freeze, and I'm not sure if a corner freeze comes with so much risk.
Yeah.
The corner freeze, if you bounce off a tiny bit, it's a deuce. I think you'll see them think about running the guard back. This is, it's a heck of a shot.
Yeah. No, it's
looking
really
at
good.
He's possibly looking at like trying to get it out with hack weight.
Yeah.
Oof. Might actually be with that ice. He might actually be playing to not try to hold his shooter, to just try to remove the stone.
Yeah.
So it's not a hack weight. It's more like just hit what you can see. He can see you can see an eighth of the rock. Hit what you can see. Get a smidge of curl after the guard. Just kind of like pick it out.
Yeah.
Obviously, the obvious risk here is flashing everything.
Yeah. Flashing everything, or if you wreck the guard, then it just makes it an easier shot for.
Yeah. Here it comes. Not the kind of shot you want to be playing in the first end. They were kind of hoping for something a little bit more open.
Having to go for line here. Backing it off. Now to curl.
Yeah. That's a good shot.
That's a good. Yeah.
That's a great shot, and it just brings a force. You could try that if you're Brent. You could try that same shot. Just so much risk. It looks like you might try it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that one's, you can see more of it, right? And there's a bit more separation here.
Yeah. First end, this is a skip's choice, right? So you could just draw for 1 and you're on the board. It's an 8-end game. You got hammer to start the game. Where you can play this. The reward of this is that you're not forced. You go to the next end with hammer. The risk of this is that you give up a steal of 2 and you give up some control. It's a risk reward game, Mark. So it's not a huge risk. He just saw it too. He just watched this rock. So nice, good throw.
Yeah, and honestly, in the first end, I mean, you ideally don't want to give up a steal, but you can just pretend that they had hammer and you force them and be happy with it. Last rock, first end here.
Going for line. Good sign.
by the guard here. Just make sure it makes contact and see if we'll get the roll here.
Yep, good blank.
So blank first end here. Team Pierce will retain hammer, and we'll have the second end for you just after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
All right, and we are back. Again, my name is Mark, joined by Matt Haim on commentary to bring you the men's final of the 2023 Prestige Hotels Resorts Curling Classic, produced by Curling Stadium and the lovely Vernon Curling Club in Vernon, BC.
We had a blank in the first end.
Yep. If you are interested, the women's final between Team Corinne Brown and Rui, I think it's Rui Wang, is on. I believe that is going to be another commentary game, so you can have both on. But
I would stick with ours. Ours is going to be way more fun.
Yeah, we definitely have the knowledge here, considering I played here last week.
Exactly.
And made a surprising run to the event semifinals, where
That's awesome.
promptly crapped the bed.
So that was it right here, just to get back to this game. Like, that was a really good opportunity to put some pressure on right there. And
yeah,
just going to the back eight is just, it means that this peel, because they're just going to peel this guard. It just takes so much pressure off of this peel. It takes so much pressure off of this end, because even if they just get rid of this, rock, like you got to guard again probably, and then you're just guarding a rock top 8 and back 8. Like it's just,
Yeah.
well, that's not exactly what they wanted to have.
Little bit of bad luck there. So now
throw it that far that you dead jam, especially when
Yeah.
you slide all the way down the ice like that to watch
Yeah.
it dead jam. That can't be fun.
No.
Now, so here's a chance again. If you can put this top forefoot biting the top button, then pressure starts to really mount. And light would be okay here too. Like you want it actually top button, but
Yeah.
light would, like you could live with light.
So, I mean, there's not a ton of space to leave it light here. I mean, would you ever consider just throwing like a really long guard here, right? Or do you have to come in right now?
Yeah. So I probably wouldn't, only because then they do this and then you just threw a guard on a guard, right? So that's a perfect shot. Like that's exactly perfect. You're running back now, but and the thing is, you were running back last time, but you were running him back without a lot of consequences. Now you're running back with some consequences. So there's some pressure on the Pierce team here to get this.
Ooh, down on
get
his
rid of
knees.
some
Not a
rocks.
fan of that.
Yeah, not a huge fan, but
that's what you get for getting on your knees, guys. You stuff the peel.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you start to think about, okay, so the shot that they're going to play is the run back again. So now you can start to think about either like trying to come around it, or a high guard. So you could listen to a high guard here, or a tight guard. It doesn't. What you're trying to take away is their ability to run this back, right? So where he was tapping his rock takes that away, but so does a high guard. They're two different shots, so they might talk about it a little bit. But the idea is, like, for a high guard, you'd have to take a little bit less ice because not going to curl as much because it's not going to go as far.
Yeah.
So this is probably like a little come around, just
like top 12-ish.
Yeah, even just tight. Like you really even just curls if it curls an inch past the guard, you're good.
Yeah.
It looks heavy though.
Yeah, sweepers don't seem to be too interested in it.
And it doesn't suck. It's still gonna lead to the run back again.
Yeah.
But the same kind of issue with that run back, right? The consequences are starting to rise, and now you're halfway through the end. So you're a couple shots away from sitting shot.
What attempt is this? Attempt number 3 at this run here?
This is. And they've dead nosed it the last two. So maybe take a little bit more ice and
a little quieter, making it try to curl here, and we'll end up straight peeling it. So
yeah, so that's the consequences, right? Like the consequences of like 3 straight run backs, two that you bonk on the nose, and then the last one you try to adjust a little bit and you miss, and now all of a sudden the end is getting a little more tense. There aren't a lot of good places to draw.
No,
they're looking to guard the shot rock here, so they want to cross a bit.
Yeah, just crossover a little bit, right?
Basically the same shot, 10 feet less weight. Might actually end up throwing like 15 feet less weight and let the sweeper sweep it, because the sweepers didn't do a lot on the first one.
Oh, he's asking them for off here.
Yeah.
This one's cruising here.
It's going to end up probably going to be a little tighter than they wanted it, but it's a guard.
Yeah, it's in a good spot, right?
They're running in a blue.
Yeah, this time a blue, because
there's it's going to be real tough to get rid of more than just 2, the guard and one of their rocks.
Yeah. Another sweepers are back and forth on it, so it should be pretty close here. It is going to make contact with both here. Doesn't
Yeah, so
kill both the rocks, but
no, that's fine. That works out pretty well. And now you just think about a spot. Now what you're doing is you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to steal. So this shot here, the desire to go top 12, like now you're not in a situation where you're going to steal against Brent Pierce, like
Yep.
unless he misses, right? So
Yep.
what you want to try to do is, you got to force. Well, how do I make his next shot tough on him? And if you throw this, if you throw this
like center
and
line.
this is a little short,
Yeah.
you might see Brent
Just wrap around.
around it.
Yeah.
So you might be actually showing, like, if you don't throw right now, it's going to be real tough for Brent to get to.
Yeah.
Like, you're in a situation where you can force pretty easily. Like, if you just kind of draw the open side here, or like half around his corner guard, it's going to be tough for Brent. He's then freezes, then you blast, and then you give a force. Putting this in this spot right here, you're opening the door a little bit to a deuce.
First of Skip's rocks here for Team Schneider here. I think they're going top 12 this year, around the center line, maybe top 8.
Top 12, top 8.
Yep.
It's
easy sweep here for the curl, or is easy sweep for the sweepers here. This is going to cruise on a top 8, maybe bite a 4-foot.
It might. It's not bad. Good result.
Yep.
It is not possible to make the double and roll behind the corner, or make the double and roll over to the other red. So, no,
I mean,
it ends up being a good force. It was a good shot. It did bring a tiny bit of peril into play, but he executed well. And, that's the thing about curling. Like, if you make shots, then it's an easier game.
Yeah.
It's a much easier game when you make shots. So he's just looking for the nose hit. It's going to be wide open.
Yeah.
Just make the double. Not bad weight. They got to go for line.
Now I go hard for line.
They might have
pretty close.
Oh, and he got the roll over too. Oh, it's beauty.
That's good.
That's some veteran shots right there. Nose hit here, and then nose hit actually puts a little bit of pressure. Nose hit. If he nose hits, you can't nose hit back.
Yeah.
So then you got to decide, if you're Brent, do you
like hit and roll, or just
run at the
draw
at the hit and roll, or take a run at the draw, or take a run at? If he nose hits, there is a possible double and blank.
Yeah.
But
that's spicy.
That is very spicy, because you got to hit pretty thin. And now you're at the point too in the second end where you do not want to give up a steal.
No.
Yeah, it's blank or take one here. In an 8-end game, you just don't want to give up those points yet. Not laying a brush to this. Trying to get it to curl.
Move. Is he gonna get to nose here? Yeah, he gets a little on the outside.
Drawing for his one. There's no real double to blank. You could take a run.
You could take a run on it if you had to, yeah. But it's
if you hit it on the outside, it comes with so much risk, though.
It does.
Like I said, you just want to score here. And they just played. They just had some practice. They just played a draw the button here, so it's draw the button, ice. It's exactly how you play the draw the button. You play it back to the glass. So he would have thrown this shot. He would have thrown this shot like 25 minutes ago. Ice should still be about the same.
Last rock here for Team Pierce. Just looking for a piece of the 8-foot.
Sweepers seem to like it.
Yep. Not too worried about this one. Should. Hand goes up, and this one should settle just around the tee line.
Perfect.
All done. So, good end played by both teams. Kind of some crazy runs and bad luck here, but ends up getting a force of 1. So Team Schneider will have hammer in the third end, which we'll have for you after this break. And we are back. So after a force in the end here, Team Schneider will look to get a deuce here, and they've drawn to the wings here and seemed kind of odd with that hit there, but kind of reset here, and let's see if we can get this corner up here. Thanks to all the people watching us in YouTube. We've got over 100 people in the chat. So if you guys are watching in YouTube, feel free to say hi, because I am watching it while I am watching this game.
I'm not sure that they're going for a corner guard here. Well, they're really pushing it. But you can hit it.
Yeah. So looks like we'll see corner center guard here. Yep. So Matt, you said you played Pierce years ago. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Many times.
Always kind of cool to see people you've played like still doing it.
Yeah.
Did he have that the whatchamacallit, the delivery aid or
no, nobody used them. Back when I played, nobody used those.
Yeah.
We just fell on our faces whenever we had a bad slide. There were no stabilizing.
Yeah.
Lots of bending of brooms. The stabilizer is really good. The first person I didn't see hardly anybody ever use that when I was playing.
Yeah.
The first person I ever saw use it competitively was Reed Carruthers.
Mm-hmm.
because he had to switch from a toe slide to an e slide, and it just worked out for him.
Yeah, and it's definitely Reed's still rocking. He's still rocking that today, right? I didn't get a chance to watch it, but my assumption is he still does that.
Yep, he does.
Speaking of Carruthers here, I was actually at a Learn to Curl today where I gave the option for the class to do a broom delivery, but I said you should stick with the stabilizers. But anyways, getting back to Reed here, so I see that he won the PointsBet Invitational, but it went to one stone draw basically, or
Yeah.
draw the
So
button?
the extra end in this PointsBet Invitational was if it goes, it's a 10 end game,
Yeah.
and if it goes to an extra, it's a draw the button.
Oof.
And they managed to snag a 3 and 10, and then win the draw the button contest.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? About draw the button versus the extra end?
Well, so that whole event is kind of gimmicky and weird.
Yeah, with
Like
the playoff,
16
yeah.
teams invited, and like losing you're out,
Yep.
and it's like it curling is not a lose and you're out kind of a game. Like it's a field game, and you get on runs, and like you get good luck, you get bad luck, you get all
Yep.
that said too. You play an entire game for control, and like we talked about control in this. So, I'd say that the Pierce team right now has a minimal control. Like they've got some points on the board. They're not. They're like they're mathematically in control. You play entire curling games for control, and then when you get to the extra end, and it's like, okay, closest to the button wins.
Yeah. Oof.
It's a coin flip. Like
It really is.
it's
Yeah.
a skilled coin flip, but it's a coin flip, and it's especially at this event too. They had some humidifier problems, so the frost was getting a little weird.
Oh, did
So
they?
yes, they did.
I did not know that. So coincidentally, I played a fun spiel here last weekend, and in the A semifinals, we tied, and ended up going to. We didn't play an extra end. We did skip stones, and I drew short. I ended up going like top 8 or something like that, and they drew top
Yeah.
4. Not happy about it, but it's okay, But maybe I'll
Yeah.
just blame it on the humidifier.
Well, so like if you're playing some bonspiels, right, and you need the sheet, like you need the game to be over. You can't have
For sure.
all the time because you've got to just. I get that, right? This is a major tournament, and it's on TV, and I don't know, like they're playing it in an arena, and I don't. It's interesting to me because like I don't know if this is true, so I'm just going to make some things up because I have Mike. But it's a hockey rink, and hockey rinks don't necessarily need dehumidifiers, but curling sheets need them a lot.
Yeah.
Like you can't if a hockey rink has some frost on it, you just skate over it a bunch and shoot a puck, and it releases the frost. But on a curling sheet, you can't. You can do that down the middle, so you don't see frost down the middle. But if you have to go outside, then all of a sudden you've got frost to deal with, and it just changes the game completely. So having these events in these arenas just comes with that risk. Comes with the risk that the humidifier is not really. You just can have some problems anyway.
Yeah, getting back to the game real quick here. So teams are just kind of exchanging hits, but we
That
did
was a
get
great
a roll.
right
A fantastic roll.
He's Brent Pierce. He came to play. He's a veteran. He's savvy. He's a savvy veteran. They're making some shots. They're obviously making lots of shots. They're in the final here.
Yeah, so we'll see this run back attempt. I don't know if they're going to try to roll for another corner, but really,
they're just trying to hope
you got to kill it. Yeah. Let's see if we.
Well, they got it moving. That's good.
Yeah,
Now
it's
it's their rock, so like the shot is to come around it and put some pressure on them,
yeah.
but now it's a blue rock. So if you make the run back now, you're you're looking at your own rock there instead of their rock. So Brent's going to try to put this. It's okay to go T line here. Little space is good.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to go. You don't want to go back 4 foot, like biting the back 4 foot, because then you might set up a double to sit buried. But you probably want to be T line because you want to put a little bit of space between them.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also go just like fully top 8 foot.
Yeah.
3/4 buried, and then if they make the run, they wouldn't be shot. But the better you just make their run a little easier, right? The better shot here is to try to just get this fully buried, just in front of the tee line, top 4.
The sweepers are gonna have to go this one. I think it's gonna be a little tight here. Back off it now.
They seem to like the weight.
Yeah. Now it seems like it's gonna need to curl and get around here.
Well, it should
I thought
finish right at the end there.
Yeah.
Not
Does
bad.
end up going back 4 here, so there's definitely room. It's hard to be. Yeah, I
There
mean,
is. It's going to be tough to get. It's going to be tough to find room for 2, but there's certainly room for 1.
Yeah.
So make this freeze.
And then
Brent freezes on top of it. Not shot. Going to be a tough deuce. Well, it just went a little deeper than they wanted. Still got to execute here.
Yep.
Got to put it in the right spot. Nothing easy about this, but they should have gotten a time on Brent's, and they should have an idea.
Yeah.
Take the hoodie off for the shot.
Yeah, these teams they've had a lot of work today. This is game 3 to get to this, starting at 11 a.m. this morning. So should be pretty familiar with today's conditions. This one's got some room here.
Well, it's hanging out there, so that leads me to believe that it's heavy.
Yeah. Sweepers are escorting it, and now let's see if we can get. I think they wanted the weight to come off a little bit just to try to carve it. I think we're bouncing.
Kind of bounce, yeah. Doesn't kill him, because I think Brent's got to just kind of hit that and roll away.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to stay right there.
He doesn't want to stay and leave him an easy pocket. You know, catcher. So
you're gonna just try to hit it and roll a rock to the right.
Yeah.
Just bite that. It doesn't really even fully matter. And then gonna leave Schneider the exact same shot.
Yeah.
But this time, don't go it heavy. Which is gonna be tough, right? Like you do want to stay here. You don't want to run down here and just pick this out. Like you do want to stay and put
some pressure. Yeah.
Put a little bit more pressure, a little bit more consequence. If you can hang around in the edge of the 4 foot,
edge of the 4 foot, yeah,
it would be even. It would add just a little bit more peril to the last shot. So you want to get rid, but the object here is just get rid of this.
Yeah, you have to get rid of it for sure,
and try not to stay there. Like you'd rather roll out than stay right there.
Final rock for Brent Pierce. Sweepers on it early out of hand here for line.
They were gesturing how it's a little bit down. Maybe they're going to try to go inside now.
Oh yeah, I mean you got
roll
plan
inside
B here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's not bad.
No.
It's not wide. It doesn't really change the shot. That's the same shot, but it gives you a little bit of backing. So if you come down and if he throws the same weight he just threw and hits half a
Yeah.
rock, he's going to make it. So again, made it not hard, like gave him some backing now. Same shot gets his one.
I guess he can't over curl it though. If he ever catches it on the low side here, right?
Yeah, I don't
Rolls
think
away, but
that would be real.
that would be a real big miss. He's taken quite a bit of ice here, so
He's taken just a tiny bit less ice than he took on the draw, which leads me to believe that he's throwing it a bit heavier. So
like
he's
back
actually
8, yeah.
yeah. Which could also have some risk too if he throws this out a little bit and the curl is late.
Sweepers
So
are
it
off
could-
this year.
Yeah, this could be trouble. They're trying to
Leaning
carve
on
it,
it, trying to carve it over here.
but it might. It's
They're
definitely gonna bounce off. So
it's
it's gonna be
bouncing, and it's gonna
it's a steal of 3.
go. Wow. So a steal of 3 for Brent Pierce here. When the Schneider rock goes a little bit heavy. So Schneider will look to get on the board here in the 4th end, which we'll have for you just after this break. Oof. That's rough. All right, we are back here. So Team Schneider's got some work to do after their final rock goes a little bit heavy. So they're looking to get started.
Massive steal of 3 there.
Yeah.
So, just an instance where like the exact same shot he threw would have gotten him the 1. Instead, he tightened up the ice and thought about throwing a little bit more weight. And probably like as he was coming out, just thought, oh, maybe that was too tight of ice and just set it a bit. I don't know if that's what he was thinking in his head, but he just set it a bit and it just never caught the late curl. Like the curl is all late and it just never caught it. And it just went basically sliding by, opening up, just making like you get all the way here and you give up a steal of 3 in the 3rd end. It's just tough, but you know what you got to do here, right? Just get a deuce. Just get on board.
Yep.
Just stop the bleeding.
We've seen it before here, so they'll try to shake it off. They've got a decent setup here. They got a couple of corners, and then just a quick update on the women's final. Team Wang, they are up 4-0 as well over Team Brown. So
Yeah,
We've
and
got
they got a little break here because this one comes in the rings. So there's an opportunity here. All that matters is you hit and roll behind the guard.
yeah.
It doesn't matter that you get rid of any rock. Like it doesn't matter because you can even nut it. In
I think
fact,
you're just drawing. Yeah.
well, you know what I've always said, that it's easier to draw a rock to the spot than hit and roll a rock to the spot. So they're just going to come around, like they're not even worried.
Yeah. And that's a good sign, right? Not panicking, right?
Yeah,
Like some
not
teams would
panicking.
panic here and just say, "No, I've got to start getting rid of stuff," and
Oh no,
rolling
they're
here.
sitting a bunch. Like the thing is, a lot of times whenever anybody says, "But they're sitting 3," you're like, "Yeah, but we have 6 shots left."
Yeah.
So we've got some chances to get rid of some of their rocks. Get this rock in a good spot. Get this rock buried. Trying to finish it. This was a good shot.
That's a very good shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Let's go
now,
behind
like,
T.
now, yeah, it's fine. It's buried enough. Now Brent's gonna think about peeling. You know, like you can see going through his head right now is, yeah, I'm up 4-0. Should I peel this? But if I just peel that top guard, it doesn't really help me much.
Yeah.
I can't make the double peel because I might jam them. So he ends up just reluctantly talking himself into this center guard.
I mean, and I like that, right? It's
right.
kind of this cat and mouse, right? Like, you're gonna force. I mean, the pressure's still on Schneider. He's gonna have to deal with these rocks in the center, but at the same time, he's
Put it to
accumulated
this
a good rock. Yeah.
he doesn't hate it, but he doesn't love it.
Yeah.
So, up 4-0, you don't love throwing a guard. But especially when they have a rock buried behind a corner guard.
This one's
coming into the
coming
rings
in.
too.
Okay.
Did they jack it? They might have jacked it. They might have lined it up so that it.
Does that?
I think if they actually play the hit and roll behind the corner guard, it doesn't jam.
That's such a scary shot.
Yeah, you could also play it with like a board weight.
Well, can they ever just play like out turn and make a play on the rock that's like kind of top 4 there?
Yeah, that's what. So they're gonna.
Or
I
are
don't
they trying to get the back one?
No, they're just trying to get the top one, right? So just kind of like
okay.
hit the top one and roll. And if you hit the top one and roll,
yeah,
you might tick that back one, like get it moving. But if you played it with like a board weight and had half of that top yellow and made the roll with board, you wouldn't get it moving towards you wouldn't go to your rock. So like that, the big thing about this is the weight, and this is a really good chance for Schneider. If they can make this hit and roll, with just
so
like a
2 behind 2
it looks
corner
like they're so it looks like they're throwing it a little bit harder than board weight. It looks like almost closer to a normal.
Yeah.
So we'll see whether or not it jams. It might not if you hit. I don't think it does if you hit half a rock.
Let's see.
But we're gonna find out.
This one's coming in here. Is it heading too thin? Oh, wow.
Oh, it just goes under. That's beauty.
Jeez. Wow.
There you go.
Just by a hair. That was I was pretty nervous about that.
Yeah. Well, so now all of a sudden you've got now they almost have to freeze.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Yeah. Either your shots are either throw another center guard or freeze, and the center guard is not pretty, especially since they're 0 for 2 on them. So you're freezing to their rock right now, up 4-0. Not exactly the situation that you want to be in.
Yeah.
Let's see. One good freeze here and they're out of this end. Although they might set up a double.
Yeah. Let's see where this settles up.
Trying to carve it.
Past the top one. Are we bouncing? Yeah.
Just bouncing in a little bit. Going in the back.
Does settle for 4th shot, which I guess is.
Well, so it sets up a really interesting question here because like he's he's contemplating making the double / possibly the triple.
Yeah.
It's thirds first. It's not the worst idea,
I mean,
but you could leave a double back and or a hit and roll back to get out of the end. So he's playing pretty tight ice. He's playing this with a bit of weight.
Yeah.
In the list of things. So this is going to be moving. Maybe
Okay.
you hit and roll with it super flat and make the double.
Okay.
Not bad.
No.
It's pretty.
It's steep.
It's too steep to make the double. So now is then the possibility here is a hit and roll.
Yeah.
Nose hit doesn't kill you right now. You're not out of this end. You got 3 shots to go. Nose hit doesn't kill you because they have to then think about where they're going to go. If they do make a perfect hit and roll, you can still draw. They're only going to be sitting 2.
Yeah.
Your back one out counts their top one, which is good for
Which
you.
is big, yeah.
Good.
Oh, I don't know if this is gonna roll enough.
I think it is actually. That's
Oh,
a decent right there.
Pretty decent result here. Oh man. There's a lot of rocks on this intern side.
I think you just have to come down and try to get as close to the nose as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And he's looking at playing this with weight. Oof, this has some serious downsides. The upside is you make it and you lay 3. The downside is that you hit it anywhere high sided and you pick out your shot rock and you're out of the end.
Yeah.
So like if you can make this, if you can think about just playing a tap to this, just tapping it back.
Yeah.
This in your back one, trying to get as close to the nose as possible. But he seems to think that he can actually make this, get hit what he can see, double at the back one, and sit 3.
Is there any ever sort of like setup shot here you can play?
Yeah, I think the setup shot is to just tap it back, right? Just
Yeah.
come down to the nose, try to get to the nose of it, and even if you get just a hair high and just kind of tap a little pocket back there.
Yeah.
Like what he's trying to do right now is to get that top one counting, but he only needs 2. He doesn't need 3. 3 is great, but he needs to get 2.
This looks tight here. This is gonna have some weight, yeah. No?
Yeah,
Or
this
they're
is
just gonna hold
he's
it.
throwing this decently hard. Didn't look like a
Didn't look
really
like it was a
hard
big hit,
slide.
yeah. They're just gonna try to hold this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's the shot. That's actually not. That's the shot I was saying with just a bit more quiet weight.
Yeah.
That's not bad though. That works out.
That's really trusting your
Well, the
Your
really
streamers,
interesting part about this is that Brent is laying shot, so he's actually shot.
yeah.
Yellow is shot and throwing. So you could. It's really, really tempting to want to just hit a rock because you're up 4.
Yeah.
If you were not up 4, the question becomes, would you hit that top rock? If you were like tied up, would you hit that top rock, or would you think about a
Drawing?
different?
I mean, I don't know. I
think you would think about that I don't really love guarding.
No.
So your options are guard, draw open side, or hit the top rock. And there's nothing that I like about hitting the top rock because there's just so much peril.
But I mean, honestly, like drawing open, like you can't leave a double, right? Because
you definitely can't.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
If you left it in if you drew.
Like where are you drawing? Like you're drawing.
Yeah, you would have to try to draw to the F in from.
Yeah, I mean that's the only place you can draw, right?
Yeah.
And if
he plays the freeze, and then you freeze on him, and you're out of the end.
But if you're ever heavy there,
yeah, no, I know. If you're heavy though, then the shot that they have is the same shot, and it's gonna leave you a smash banger for like for something.
Yeah.
So like the shot that they're going to try to play is the exact same shot they just played, right? The run back of the blue onto the yellow. Like that's the shot that they're playing. And that's like, you know, God bless them. They just made it, but it's no gimme. And if they make it, you still have a blast to get rid of 2 of them and give them a draw for 3, and you're out of this end up 1 with.
All right.
Or up
Anyone
one.
who's watching
Yeah.
in the YouTube chat, like 150-ish people, what are you doing with this rock here? Are you
I'm
guarding it? Are you
leaning,
drawing?
yeah,
Are you,
I'm leaning a little bit more towards guarding it personally.
Yeah.
It looks like he's leaning towards guarding it as well. Because you can actually make this guard. Like this guard can be on the, like this guard works if it's on the R of the senior, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you're guarding the high
biting
side of it. Yeah.
biting the center line, bending the center line, maybe just a hair over, maybe just like fully covering that R or just being on that R works. As long as you're like, the ideal situation is you want him to just then throw a draw. You just need him to not throw this red onto yellow.
Yeah.
So you just kind of got in. You just got to get in the way of that, and you got it. Like he can't make it with the in turn, so you just got to get in the way of the out turn. I know it feels crappy to throw this rock because you're up 4. You're like, I don't want to throw in a guard on
corner guards.
They're like, they got
the
3 in the rings and they have hammer and they're behind corner guards and I'm throwing basically a center guard. It just, none of it feels good, but this is probably the shot.
All right, first the skips rocks here.
They're looking at just cross center line. You know, the perfect shot is just a 3 inches past center line. Just to give yourself a kind of an out too. Like it ends up being a guard that you could use maybe. Tight is not good. You probably don't want it tight, but that's pretty good.
Curls a hair, but
yeah, no, that's good too. That's good. It didn't need to curl that much, but it also is okay if it does. You know, he's drawing, and if he draws, that's just gold for you, right? Like that's just basically magic for you because he's not going to bring any of his other rocks into play. He's actually thinking that he can get past this guard. No, I think he's thinking that it curls so much that he can get past this guard and get the back one moving just a couple inches.
I think it's there. I mean,
I think it probably is too. Like if he gets it moving, he's only got to get it move. He's only got to tap it 3 inches to lay 3.
Yeah.
The way he's tapping, he's going for his deuce, which is again smart.
Yeah.
So he's taken a lot of ice because what he wants to do is he wants this to kind of be half open.
Half open, yeah. So I mean, not really.
He wants to
Pierce right unless they jam.
Yeah, he wants it. Well, he's taking a.
He's moving.
He's going all the way back in. Originally, he was going. It looks like he's talked himself back into throwing it buried. So go for the skips deuce here.
Yeah.
There was a moment where he was thinking, if I get this top 4 foot half open, maybe I've got a chance to run it back.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's a little greedy, but
he's it's optimistic. As you said a couple of shots ago, it's that setup shot, right? It gives him a chance at a gaggle. He's sitting in the hack saying, I got 3 rocks in the rings and I'm drawing for a deuce. It's annoying.
All right. First skips rocks here for Team Schneider here. Just looking at a 4 foot. I guess they don't mind if they're heavy, but sweepers.
I think they want this. Yeah, they would. It's definitely out there. They got to go for weight.
They've got to go for weight, and it's got to curl. This may end up being half open or fully open here.
It might end up being the shot that Oh, it's a teaser. Look at that.
Ooh.
That's a decent shot because it might be just edge on edge from the hack. It might be just a smidge buried. It brings now, so this brings a lot. Here's if you try to hit this, you got to come tight to the guard. If you
Yes.
ever clip the guard, you bring a huge end into play.
Yeah.
Like if you tick that guard, you bring 5 into play. So if you don't throw right now, like he's got a pretty toughie. He does have a shot for 5. It looks like they're throwing a guard on it, or they're going to freeze on it. They're either going to throw a
shot
guard.
rock.
I think they're actually going to just throw a guard.
Yeah, up 4 though. I mean, right? Yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah, like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't there's too much risk to try to hit this.
Yeah.
And if you just throw a guard right here and he draws for 2, you're out of this end. And it feels like when you're at the other end, like it feels like I gotta make a move on this, but the scoreboard says you don't.
Yeah.
And there's too much risk to make any kind of move on this rock. So throw this guard. It split the center line just over the hog line, anywhere in play. Like you don't want to get this too tight because he might run this back. You don't want to give him any chance at running this onto that blue onto your other rock. So higher the better.
Final rock here, Brent Pierce looking to guard shot rock.
Up 4, and he throws two guards.
2 guards essentially.
Not exactly a great end. Not one that they're going to look back on fondly.
This one's got a curl, should finish, but it's a ways off the center line, going hard at the end.
It just needs to be again. It just needs to take away the outturn.
Yeah.
Which I think it might. Yeah. Well, he's thinking maybe he can blast this in turn. Oh, this is going to be a shot right here.
Oh, I mean, this is.
He can
you can get there with quiet weight, right?
I don't know. I think he's thinking about more. I'm not sure that you want to throw this quiet.
Yeah.
I think you just got to cross the center line. He might have just left a hole.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's going to be curling away. It's going to be curling away, but it has to be curling away anyway.
It has to, yeah.
I don't know if he can make this for 5, but he might be able to make it for 4. I don't think he can get it to curl enough that the one he hits dead.
You lose the shooter, yeah.
No, I think it's the shooter stays. The one that he hits is gonna.
I mean, I'm seeing what you're saying. It spins out. Yeah, yeah.
The one that he hits is not gonna dead jam, but
yeah.
Man, this is a big shot in the game. This is 4-4 or 5-0. There's no in between. There's no I guess there's.
I think it's just 4-1. Yeah, if he kicks the guard,
he probably clips the guard.
Yeah, but you got to throw this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you played this whole end.
Yeah,
you played this whole end for this shot right here. It's going to take a good release. He seems to think that the hole is decent enough that he doesn't have to play it quiet. Based on this ice, he is whistling it.
Yeah.
I'm with you a little bit. Like quiet does bring 5 into play.
Yeah.
Like if that left guard rock was not there, you would probably play this quiet.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right? So like if you could ever find a way to just pretend it's not there,
yeah,
and play this with quiet anyway, you gotta he's playing this weight because it's such a tiny hole, but it's really the left guard is not in play.
Yeah.
If to make the shot, you have to miss that left guard by a ton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To make it to redirect
and he would probably without that left guard there, he would probably think about just playing this shot with quiet.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to play this shot, but let's see.
Big shot here.
Huge.
Not whipping it.
It's not whipped. Might have floated it a bit.
Oh, it's gonna have to. You're gonna have to curl it, boys. Yeah.
That is on the wrong guard.
It's on the guard. Oh.
Just set it as he let it go.
Just said it. Yeah.
You know what they say, set it and forget it.
Wow. So, fun end there. Team Schneider does get on a board with a single. Wanted more there, of course, here. So, Pierce will have hammer and a 4-1 lead in the fifth end after this break.
We get to catch our breath.
Ooh. All right, guys, we are back. Having a very exciting end there. Team Schneider with a chance to get back into this game. Unfortunately, just ticked on the guard and ended up just getting there one. So Team Pierce will have a 3-point lead with hammer. So
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him tick on the other guard. Just give it a whirl. Just
Yeah.
really be aggressive and let the sweepers sweep it instead of try to sweep it to curl.
Yeah.
Really take a chance there. What do you have to lose, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get one. Just hit that high guard.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
Yeah. So we get to see some center guards here, and Team Pierce happy to go in the rings, and then they've got this one tight that they're ready to run back. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you want to keep you're again, you're down 3 without rocks in play are kind of your friend right now.
Yeah.
You got to try to man. You've got a couple of center guards, beautiful center guards. At this point, you want to try to start to manufacture some rocks in the rings and try to get to a point where they don't rip the centers.
Yeah, exactly.
Might have thrown this a little bit more weight than was asked, and it's going to definitely jam on the back one. It's okay. Gets it off the lid. It's a decent shot.
Got some guards.
I think you're going to see. I think this is a situation too where it's really tempting to try to make a double peel. But I think you'll see him just peel the top one. There's no reason to even try to double peel. As tempting as it is,
Double's always there.
yeah, the rock that hurts you the most right now is the one that's dead buried behind the center guard. So
Yeah.
if you can actually just rip that, just straight rip that, let them replace. He came to the right. He ended up coming around. They're just gonna straight rip this.
Yeah.
Schneider's got to throw another center guard. So you're in a situation here where rip this, they got to throw a center guard, rip it, and just kind of keep going and make life easier on you and harder on them. So he's got to throw another center. So we're gonna do this for a couple of shots.
Yeah. While we do that, we'll just take a quick peek at the other sheet here. So Team Corinne Brown did get on the board. She had to make not an easy raise kind of run for her do. So they're now on the board, still down 5-2 to Team Wang here. So some comebacks needed in both the final games here at the Prestige Hotels, Resorts, and Curling Classic, brought to you by Curling Stadium. I got a chance to actually stay at the Prestige Hotel and Resort just down the street from the Vernon Curling Club last week. It is a pretty nice place.
Awesome.
Yeah, very, very nice place.
Yeah, I mean, you're in Vernon. What can go wrong, right?
Yeah, no, it
Beautiful.
was my first time in curling in Canada.
Wow.
First time I was in Canada since I was like 8, but I don't even really count that. So
Yeah, exactly.
good times. People in Vernon were very nice. We got a chance to go to a cider place in town. That was very cider orchard place, and then we went to a cheese place in Armstrong. For those that are familiar with that
nice.
The BC
area. So here's a scenario where, like, your options here is you could throw one more center guard. It's thirds first.
Yeah.
You can throw one more center guard, but he has elected to freeze to this back one. Now I don't hate that.
It's like a little early for it, yeah.
I feel like it might be one shot too early, because I think what Brent Pierce really wants to do is bring play into the rings, and I think you'll see him just go up and rip those two, roll the shooter off, and now all of a sudden you're kind of like you got 3 chances at getting rid of 3 chances at a double.
Yeah.
So like, it's just like the math isn't as great when you throw, because one more center guard and they were going to just straight rip it. They were never going to try to do the double peel. And now all of a sudden you're coming in and you're just grouping rocks a little bit. That didn't end up in a good spot.
No.
Like, I think they're still just going to rip the 2 guards and ignore it. I think if you hit that top rock, just a quarter of the top rock, it goes on the other one and spins up. You might hit that back one on the way past.
Yeah, really I guess that's the only danger, but I mean,
that doesn't even matter. Like, Brent's pretty happy that there's going to be no guards in play anymore.
Yeah.
So you're going to see this. Yeah, you're going to see this coming pretty hard.
And whip it. Yeah.
Just whip this, and with this turn, it's going to be spinning this way when it hits the other rock, which means it's going to spin up. There's a real good chance that a lot of rocks are going to be gone after this. That's a good shot.
Yep.
Ooh, almost took out a front end player on the there. It was a good catch. I want to take out rocks, not people.
No.
So now again, you just got to come through this port and corner freeze on that.
Corner freeze, yeah.
That's the shot.
Yep.
That's about all you got. Tap is okay.
I guess, yeah, he doesn't mind bumping it, yeah, but you got to make it through the hole.
You're pretty much at the point now where you're sort of desperate.
Yeah.
So in his desperation, he's decided he's going with the tap. So he is trying to play the tap back on the blue. which is what he seemed to indicate, instead of trying to come through this port. I'm not a huge fan of taps. In the same way, I'm not a huge fan of hit and rolls. Like, it's easier to draw a rock to a spot than tap a rock to a spot. So, like,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just
like you could also just freeze to the back one around this guard instead of trying this tap.
exactly right. Yeah, I mean, you're
Like, there's no reason. Like, tap just brings in a lot of questions about weight and a lot of questions about line. Whereas draws, like, you know what draw weight is. Draw weight is here. Whereas tap weight is, well, do I throw it to tap it to there, or do I throw it to tap it to just the top 8 and then you sweep it? Like, it just brings in a lot of questions. Anytime you bring in questions, it just adds to the difficulty of curling. Brent's looking pretty good here. Like, ripping his own guard. The idea is if you kind of rip it into that blue, just hit it on the outside, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose the shooter. So you're not going to have a guard anymore. And you're going to, like, if you nut it, even if you don't nut it, it doesn't even matter. That's fine. That works out perfect. We're back to the exact same situation as an end ago. You're corner freezing onto a rock that you can only see a corner of.
yeah. I mean, I guess they can bump it back if they ever want to.
I guess he's looking at a force. 5-1. This is an 8-end game. Eesh. Yeah, I guess you're at the point now where you're trying to think about the math and say, okay,
Yeah.
with 3 ends to play, I'm down 4. Means I got to get a 3. 3, force 3. 3, force 2. Got to score some points, though. There isn't really a steal in play right now. Like, it's hard to manufacture a good steal. So going for a force isn't the worst thing in the world. I think the opportunity to really put a steal on this was a couple of shots ago. Looks pretty good.
Yep.
Just got a biter too. Couple of little biters. So you're looking at a force. Brent's going for a nice big hit and roll here. Nice tight ice. Playing outside in or inside out, I mean.
Yeah.
Playing this is, for me, like, when I play, like, this is a hard shot for me to throw. It's really, really easy to look at all that ice and say, I'm gonna just be tight here. Whereas if you put the rock on the broom, if you put the broom on the rock, then you know coming out you're gonna hit the rock. Whereas when you put it off the rock like this,
oh yeah,
the tendency is to try to just kind of like, oh, I'm off the rock, I gotta make sure it goes away, and to just kind of just push it towards the rock a bit.
Yeah.
Nose hit is good though.
First to skip rocks here for Team Pierce.
Probably gonna nose it. Oh, might have over curled a bit, but rolled absolutely perfect.
Jeez.
Not what they were calling. But what tends to happen when you throw that inside out, you tend to kind of just be a little tight, which is fine.
Yeah.
You made the rock go away and got a beauty result out of that. Really, really just got to pick this. Like, you're at force to 1 situation here.
Yeah.
You just kind of like hit half of the rock on the outside. He's got middle of the. That's weird ice, because I think you can't nose this. I don't think, because the risk is if you nose it, you might actually like shoot that yellow one jam it and roll it inside onto the rings even better.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah,
Brent,
to like full 12. Yeah, just
what is he? He's just
Where's he going?
he's out turn come around. He's
Come
trying
around?
to bury behind. Yep.
Yeah,
So
I mean
he's trying to steal.
he's got some place to go. Like he can go to
I don't know
back
what he's
8 here.
that is really tight ice. So maybe he's tapping. They're changing the shot in the hack. This might be tap ice. This might be straight come around.
It's not doing a
Got
split,
the
is
hoodie
he?
on.
Is it a split?
Uh,
Who knows? We'll see.
You notice that when he was still in this game, he was thrown without the hoodie on.
Yeah.
Now he's just thrown in. I think he's thrown
Nice.
that. I think he's thrown the towel in.
Oh, this
Playing
one's
the
gotta
straight
curl
come
a
around.
ton. And he's got a lot of room here. Gotta work it over, boys.
No, he got a little. He got a smidge of it. You got a smidge of it.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
It would be very, very tempting to just make this go away and get your 1. Make it go away and get your 2, and they might actually pull the mitts off.
Yeah.
They might actually shake 6-1 after 5.
After 5, yeah.
It's tempting to shake. If you only got 1, they definitely wouldn't shake. So you're in mid-soft territory if you grab a deuce here.
Dude, 3rd game of the day. There's a chance.
There's a solid chance. He also played that shot with the hoodie on.
Yeah.
Which is also an indication that he's not exactly in it as much because he had the hoodie off earlier when he was still in it.
Yeah. Think back to that 4th end when he had a chance to.
He had a chance. Wasn't wearing the hoodie on that shot.
No, he was in it. Final rock here for Team Pierce.
Just a nice control weight.
Yeah.
Don't really have to stay. They gotta go
get
to
it over. Yeah.
They got a
Make
piece.
contact. Yeah. Should be fine.
Mine.
Yeah.
Solid
That's really
deuce.
nice. People looking around.
Yeah, his teammates are looking around saying, what are we doing here? I guess we got to get the rocks back anyway, so maybe we should throw it back.
We'll see another end here, it looks like. Team Pierce will have a 6-1 lead. We'll have the 6th end for you after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
little bit out there.
All right, guys, we are back for the sixth end in the men's final of the 2023 Prestige Hotels Resorts Curling Classic, produced by Curling Stadium. This event is hosted by the lovely Vernon Curling Club, that both your commentators have some ties to. This is Mark No, and joined on commentary by Matt Hain. Pretty interesting game so far. Even though the score's really lopsided, we've had a lot to talk about during the game.
Yeah, and whether or not you think that Schneider should shake, just remember the last time he was playing towards the glass, he had a shot for 4. So, it's an end that they got out of it with just Pierce got out of it with just giving up a force, basically.
Yeah.
Had a legit shot for 4, possibly 5 even.
Yeah,
if
if he's stuck.
So,
yeah, it was a wild end. Pierce ended up guarding twice.
Throwing basically 2 centers on his last 2 up 4. Not exactly what you want, but this isn't. Schneider's got a couple of corners. They decided to go with opposite corners here. They got some corners.
Yeah, going with the opposite corners instead of the corners on the same side. So it'll be interesting.
Well, it's gonna mean that it's gonna leave them now this chance to hit and roll for a second corner. So they're probably just gonna maybe play this, or maybe they're gonna come around their corner.
Yeah.
You gotta get some offense here. Play and just roll for a corner. Maybe make a double on the back one, on the top back one. You don't even have to worry about the back one. The back one that's back 4 foot is actually helping you.
It's a friendly one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a friendly rock. So this is a big shot. Like, you really got to make sure that you stay here. If you did, it's the kind of thing where too, though, when you're down 6-1, it's hard to really focus and concentrate and make good shots. But that's exactly the perfect shot. So, I think you'll see Brent just walk up and start ripping. Rip the one on the left.
Quick update. We do have a final in the women's final here. Team Ri Wang gets a win over Team Corinne Brown. So congratulations to them for winning the women's side here. So they just wrapped up here. So this will be the only game on the ice. I don't know if that'll make enough of a difference, but
I don't think it'll make a tremendous amount of difference. Like, you can see a little bit of you can see the frost creeping in a little bit here, and it's kind of inside edge of the 8. I don't think it's going to be that much frostier. I would imagine it's pretty warm. Curling is a winter sport, so it's tough to make good ice when it's warm outside. A lot easier to make good ice when it's cold. Like, that's the whole idea of ice, right?
Yep.
It's frozen water. So the colder it is outside, the better it is. Now, what's really interesting here is he is coming around this tight center one instead of coming around his other corner. I might try to skinny that port and go around that.
Yeah, I would think so.
The other argument is you go around this, he rips this, then you can slap 2 around that higher corner.
Yeah.
What you really want here, what you hope for here is just this straight draw. Like, they were looking at the freeze, but the straight draw is fine.
Yeah.
That's a beauty shot. Like, that's not this 2 good shots back to back. Like, that's how you write it up, right? You throw a couple corners, they throw a center, you make a run back, they peel the corner, and then you come around that.
Yep.
Now he peels this, the straight peels this, and you sock one behind your corner. He hits the open one. You sock another one behind your corner.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got some pressure on.
Got possibly 3 in the play there at that point.
You've got the makings of something. You got to make this come around, though.
Yeah.
And you got to kind of like draw it. You almost got to draw it to the W, but with enough room for you to get another one on top of it. because of high guard. I don't know what he's thinking. He's thinking about a way to kind of corner freeze on this so that it's hard to, but he ended up with the.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
come around.
You kind of have like a hit and roll to the side that goes on the yellow. That just you're adding too many variables. So yeah, just straight draw.
Yeah, just a straight draw around the corner guard. He tapped T line. I think they would love this to be not T line though. I think they would love this to be like, again, just filling in the top 12 would be an ideal situation here. Gotta go to get it to move.
Got a little bit of room here. Are we
they
in
might
it?
actually end up playing. They might end up playing the split here, which also could work out really well for them.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Bad. Not a bad result. Would have loved to get that buried because what they really want to do is get 2 behind that. They don't have 1 behind it fully yet. But Brent hits this open one. You're going to come around and go on to the W.
Yeah.
Kind of Christmas tree these. Although it looks like he's hitting the one that's buried. It's not buried. Sorry, he's hitting the one that's like a corner buried. You can see corner buried. So
yeah.
Well, it's got a bit of risk, obviously. Like you don't want to rack the guard.
Yeah, I don't know. I think up 5 I was just at the open one, but plenty of space here.
This is fine. This is again. Now you kind of try to come around onto the W.
Come around, yeah. He's just gonna stare at that rock, see if it's behind the. Yep, kicks it.
Well, he stared at it long enough. Got a lot less ice. Really going for it, nice and aggressive. This is a big shot. If you can get this, you don't even have to be second shot. It'd be great to be second shot.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have to be. It's not critical right now.
Oh, sweepers are off this right away. Is this up?
He was heavy. Yeah, well, he was heavy on his first one, right? So like his first one would have gone through if it didn't hit his own.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that he fully adjusted. It looks like he did because they're sweeping it. So. All right. Well, it's buried.
It's buried. It's buried.
There's no double.
All right. If you're Pierce, you're just taking a crack here at the slash double here.
No, he's trying to hit and roll inside. I think like a nose hit is good here too. Like,
yeah.
I don't think you need to worry about that back one yet because if you nose hit this, you're 1 and 2, and he can't make a double and stay. So he's going to end up hitting and rolling behind, and then you're like, he's got to risk rolling big to be buried, and that's a really super high card. So either way, you're going to be able to just hit the back one in my second shot or hit his shot. So like if Pierce comes out of this 6-3 with up 3 with now, with 2 ends to go, like what you just don't want to do is risk giving up any sort of chance at a 3. And nose hitting this, I don't know how he gets 3. I don't know how Schneider gets more than a really complicated deuce.
Gonna get a little bit of roll.
A smidge of a roll. I think he's got to play the hit and roll. Like he was always going to roll behind that guard, so rolling over there just makes his roll a bit easier.
Yeah.
Which is why it was probably more for the nose hit. But if he actually rolled that a couple more, like if he rolled that half a rock more, it makes this a much more precise shot. As it happens, he's still got to cross it.
Yep.
Hoodie is on.
Jacket did come off though.
Yep. Well, the jacket came off for all the other shots too, but the hoodie came down too.
Yeah.
I wonder if his team knows that too. Like, oh, he's got the hoodie up.
Yeah.
It's got to do a lot of curling.
Gotta curl a ton here. Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good spot.
Yep. Does it leave them?
Got to flirt with the guard. He's got 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
He could probably make this double.
Make it double. Yeah.
He might just. It's not even critical that he makes the double though. Like if he dead jams it, rolls over. If he dead jams it, I don't think it would be second shot.
No.
Okay.
I guess he just doesn't want to be. If he's high side at all and rolls towards the center, he might leave a double back or two. But even then, that's fine, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think the shot here is. I think he actually knows this.
Yeah.
I think he can also hit it just like a hair high side, roll to his broom, and still sit 2.
Yep.
I think is what he's trying to do.
Final rock for Team Pierce.
I'm not saying anything because I froze.
Yeah, same here. So
I'm thinking it's a good shot. Oh, it looks like it's a good shot.
What's left here?
Yeah, he nosed it. He nosed it and jammed it on the back one and is sitting 2.
So we've just got the Hackner double, basically.
Yeah, you might as well go for it because one doesn't really get you much.
No, one doesn't get you.
One gets you. If you got one, you might as well handshake. So you might as well take a run at this thin double. Hoodie's up. He's down the other end. Just give it a whirl. This could be the last shot.
Is this tight ice for it? I don't know how much.
He's throwing it. I suspect he's throwing this decently hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's. He might be throwing this for one.
Hoodie comes down. You're not going to throw the Hackner double?
It does not look like it's going to make contact.
It's got to move. Oh.
And there's your ball game.
There's handshake. So, congrats to the Pierce Rink who win this game. I guess the final would be 7, 8.
That's what you get when you play those savvy veterans.
Yeah.
You get schooled.
Yeah. So
nice work.
Yeah, great event from
Pierce team.
Winning, going the long road on Sunday, 3 games to win the final here. So congrats to them. Congrats to the Wang Rink on the women's side for winning. Thanks to Curling Stadium for broadcasting this, and the title sponsor, Prestige Hotels and Resorts. Very, very good venue in case you're ever up in Vernon, BC. So, any final words here, Matt?
No, that was a lot of fun to watch. It was a great game. Congratulations to Brent and his team.
Well, thanks for joining us. For those that have been joining us on Facebook or Curling Zone, if you guys enjoyed this broadcast, please share this with your friends and family so we can continue to grow this channel. So we can bring you more content like this for free. So, please share this, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys at the next event.
All right, take care.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.